Oh, you know what? That looks epic.
Let me tell you,
like that could be a WrestleMania.
Tegan was attractive again. She didn't look like the strung out crackhead when she showed up on NXT. I was like, okay, there go Tegan again.
So
this is the thumbnail. I thought we go a different direction because the last few thumbnails on Saturday have all been like this.
Get him in.
You know what? Hey, I don't have to sell sex like other people do. But I mean, you guys do get better views than me.
I sell it well, and I sell it good.
Also in Earth 2, Manny is also a sex trafficker.
Oh wow!
Wow. That's Earth 2 Manny, all right? He's not a good person.
He still exists.
He's not a good person. He's not you.
Earth 2 Manny's a sex trafficker. Wow.
He's sullying my good name.
Manny, you have sullied your own good name with some of your graphics before shows, man. I remember when you zoomed in on one of my graphics because I didn't have an asset close enough to the camera.
You mean like this?
Yeah, you look like that. You know what, Dexter had a hell of a night.
You know, I said it on the last show. I genuinely felt dirty making these three.
So this one is not dirty. The last one is really, the first one you showed was really dirty.
The one on the left is dirty.
Oh, because that looks like her husband just walked in.
No, it looked like they just realized they were in public doing what they were doing, and everybody saw them. Even Lewis going like, "What the hell?"
That's why if someone walks into your room, you turn your monitor off really fast. Just
you know. You try to get in a good wank, and then somebody disturbs you. What the fuck?
Why are you using our word?
Why are you using the word? We don't say wank.
I don't know.
Why did you say wank?
I don't know.
It's a good word.
Oh, full Undertaker.
Well, first of all, before we even go do these show intros, Eric, no one else could see what you were doing, but why were you doing the Batista entrance?
You know what, man? Because for whatever reason, anytime I hear the theme music, I feel like I'm shooting Batista fireworks. I just felt like I was doing it. It works for me. It's the Sharpshooters. And surprisingly, you guys didn't know this. I do that a couple of times when I roll the credits on our show. Shit. I'm the Sharpshooters. What can I say?
Eric, do you want to do the intro or should I do it?
Oh well, no, Manny, you're doing this Saturday show, so I'll follow your lead.
Can I pause and say it looks like Manny's name is 7th August 2021? Like if somebody's first time watching this, his name's Manny. Where's Manny? I know him as August 2021.
Welcome to the show. Well, this is such a good welcome to the show.
So how are we doing this? Are we going that way and then down and then to?
No, you know what, Manny? Let me do this. Welcome everybody to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I'm Eric.
I'm Lord Manny Hayes.
And I'm August, the grand finale. And we're joined by
award-winning podcaster.
Award-winning podcaster.
Oh, damn. He's already throwing out trophies.
You got to throw it out. Trophies.
I mean, technically, since he's an award-winning... He's an
So
award-winning podcaster. He should have went first before us because we ain't even got nominated.
No. You saved the big star last. If either they go first, it's top billing on the marquee, or they go and. Featuring Ross, award-winning podcast, Ross Bell as Ross Bell.
I just want to point out, I knew him when he was Johnny Cashmere, so I don't know about this Ross Bell stuff. So I mean, whatever. You know, maybe
that's
that's
got me into podcasting. This is the podcast.
Ross reclaimed his name.
He cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase and regained his name.
He was in a deep fight with Vince, like Keith Lee was, to get the trademark of his own name.
Oh, we were talking about this before you came on, Eric. We were talking about Ross's gimmick if he was a WWE wrestler, his life cycle, and that he would have been known as Big Ben Ross Bell. Because he's 6'7", who will be built as 7 feet tall, carrying a clock at all times. Or maybe even a clock paint on his face.
Face paint clock.
Yeah.
So he would be a taller carrying cross pretty much without Scarlet.
We could give him a Scarlet.
I mean, come on. I mean, that's what it was. So who are you, Marcus?
Huh?
Who are you?
Oh, I don't know. We didn't go that far into it.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean. I thought I missed.
Knock off Malcolm Bivens? I don't know.
You wish he was a knock.
Somehow I keep my job. I don't know how I keep it.
Let me tell you.
But Diamond Mine.
You want to be Michael Bivens because everybody Michael Bivens is associated with gets released. First, it was one half of Indesure. Then it was Tyler Russ. Come on, man. He got a track record. Look, and he took it personally. I mean, come on.
Diamond Mine died this week, guys.
No, it did, Marcus. No, it didn't.
It's just Roderick Strong, Eric.
And the Asian guy, Marcus.
I thought the Asian guy got released.
Huh? Did he?
I'm not sure, but
we don't even know that dude's name.
I believe
speaking of that, we do have the news of the recent WWE multiple NXT talent prior to SmackDown. So they are as followed: Bobby Fish, Bronson Reed, Eric Smith, Jake Atlas, Ari Sterling, Kona Reeves, our boy from last year, Leon Ruff, who we championed, Stephon Smith, who we better known as Apollo Crews ref from NXT.
Oh, is that who that was?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was like, damn, Stephen A. Smith brother got fired.
Tyler Rust, Zechariah Smith, Asher Hale, Giant Zangier, who I've never seen, Mercedes Martinez, and another person we championed, Denzel Dijonet.
No!
All confirmed by Sean Ross of Fightful.
No, we thought he made the cut. Me and Marcus had a phone conversation yesterday talking about he was hiding cut like I survived.
Yeah,
we learned that you're the one that jinxed him. So you cost a guy at his job.
Yeah.
You spoke it into existence.
You know, I feel like I could be two of these three guys' asses right here. I think I would have trouble with Bronson Reed, but Leon Ruff, I can whoop his ass. Bobby Fish, I can whoop his ass. Bronson Reed, what happened, Marcus?
I think if you know how you can either form Captain Planet or the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers form the Zord. I feel like you will be the end result of all these guys merged. You have the size of Bronson Reed, the blackness of Leon Ruff, and just the confused look on your face of Bobby Fish.
I agree. It's not delivery, it's Dijonet.
So there is also talk that the reason for these releases were that there's going to be a shake-up on NXT, the way they're going to do it, a change of lights, a change of actual thing. I think they're focusing on younger talent, which explains some of the releases. I'm not sure about the Bronson Reed one because it did seem like he was going to be brought to the main roster, and then I think since he was on the main, doing main event and stuff like that, I think Vince maybe soured on him. I don't know what you guys think.
Vince was like, "We got one of these. We got one. His name is Keith Lee, and I don't like him either. Fire him." But honestly, when I saw these releases and the report before, I don't know if Manny has it separated in a category already, but Adam Cole met backstage with Vince McMahon. I was like, Adam Cole must have got his contract because people had to go tonight. Like, they had to go. Adam, I can't afford that unless I fire Bronson Reed. Then so be it.
You know, and coming into it, I was thinking to myself, like, is it worth keeping Adam Cole, letting all these other talents go? And I would say, quite frankly, I think so. I think Adam Cole has brought more to the NXT product than any of those people who were let go. I mean, it's sad to see people let go, but at the end of the day, the end goal is to make money. They are in a pandemic. They are losing money, and these are talents that they're paying money that really doesn't bring anything to the table. True, their competition, AEW, goes and they sign everybody that they release, and they don't release anybody, but it's going to be a point where they don't have enough television to put all this talent on there, and the next thing you know, you're going to be in the same WWE was, paying 200 superstars who don't show up on TV. I mean, hold on. I mean, like... Like, for example, I mean, like you say, oh, well, Titus O'Neil is still on the roster. But what Titus O'Neil does is that he does a lot of those marketing campaigns for WWE. What did Bronson Reed, Denzel Dejournette, what did they really do for NXT?
Why did you single Denzel Dejournette?
Because I thought he still had a job.
Why signal him? Single him out. Leon, Rob, Kona Reeves could have been there.
Kona Reeves. When's the last time you seen him on TV?
Well, it's funny you say that thing about AEW about having too much talent again. It was also said that, I don't have a graphic for it, but AEW are going to bring out another 4 shows.
Wow.
One's
That's
enough.
insane.
One's terrible enough as it is.
No, I feel like they are running the company like they run their wrestling matches, in which one super kick isn't enough, one V trigger isn't enough. We keep throwing them on there. We keep going on there. But in regards to this talent, I don't know what WWE's business model is right now. Honestly, it seems like they're releasing people off the wazoo. The only thing I can think of is that they do have too many wrestlers. They do have WWE, East Raw, SmackDown, NXT UK, 205 Live. Maybe it's just like we're cutting people. We're only keeping people who we think are A+, in their opinion, and our budget cuts.
Now, Ross, I have a question.
Profit off of. Maybe.
Yeah.
But
Ross,
I don't honestly know.
You being an award-winning podcaster and you manage teams of people and doing podcasting here and there, do you understand the concept of what WWE is doing, or does it upset you that they're letting go of so many performers?
No, I think Marcus is right. What he just said then, they're streamlining. They've got a business to run. They're still in a pandemic. There's so many guys. If you just search their roster, you scroll forever. There's so many people employed at this company as on-screen talent. They need to trim the fat sometimes. And I mean, a lot of those guys that have got released, I couldn't care less. I really couldn't care less about Stephon Smith or Tyler Rust or Asher Hale. I don't even know who these people are, to be honest. I'm glad they get a job on AEW next week, and I'm sure they'll be happy on one of the AEW's 15th show of the week. But
I like that as next week. I mean, like, it was a report that I read. Like, it's a report that I read that, like, people were, because of Adam, what's the cowboy, Adam Page, right?
yeah.
Because of his pregnancy and stuff like that. That's why they're bumping him out the title picture, and because they didn't want his match with Omega to compete with CM Punk's debut. And I'm like, and no one is upset about this. Like, we've been going through this whole thing of this long drawn out thing that Omega is going to finally fight Page, but now he's going to be bumped aside for a 50-year-old ex-WWE superstar. I mean, I'm sorry to say, this is everything that like WCW did, everything that Impact did. AEW is doing the same thing, and I know I'm about to get the hate. AEW is no different from everybody else. They're trying to turn a profit, but they're not looking at the long game. They're just going for that instant pop, instant gratification.
Preach, Eric. Preach. This company is a disaster. They're like you said, they're exactly what WCW did. Adam Page should be the one to beat the fella, what's his name, Omega, for the title.
Yeah, I mean, like,
they put a year into this at this point. Why waste it just for CM Punk?
Hey, hang on, you've only watched 2 episodes of Dynamite.
I know, but it seems like a year. Mate.
You haven't went through it. You haven't been through the trials and tribulations that we have been through with this company.
It's felt like a year, those 2 weeks.
I just felt like 2 weeks ago they made one of the most fire promo packages for Adam Page. Like, whatever, a week, 2 weeks. And then now we're just throwing it all away. And then we're not going to even throw it away for one of their younger talents. We're going to put the focus and emphasis on Christian Cage, number 2 of Edge and Christian. Like, no one wants this.
Eric, he's going to outwork everybody.
The only thing that I can say I take a positive from Christian Cage being in this title pictures is that we no longer get Christian Cage against Matt Hardy, the feud from 23 years ago that nobody wanted in 2021.
Yeah, well, they might start Ric Flair and reignite that Flair and Sting feud from 40 years ago.
Oh man, I can't wait. One more time.
Oh yeah, Flair got released too.
Luchador says Page will beat Omega. I put $50 on it. Yeah, when?
You've lost
But after CM Punk is won.
You need to say when.
Yeah.
At one point, I believe Finn Balor will beat Roman Reigns again. Yeah. And I bet $50 on it. But no, it's not fair. It can be any time. You gotta say when it's gonna happen. It should have happened at All Out. But CM Punk and Daniel Bryan are coming in, or Bryan Danielson's coming in. They gotta get the belt. In my opinion, I think it's the right move. If he goes by Brian at this point. Like,
no, for me, it would be Brian Bella. I would love it to be Brian Bella. That just would make me so happy. It's like, and coming to the ring, Brian Bella.
They do not own the name of Bellas, all right?
No, anybody last name could be Bella. Because they own Nikki Bella and Brie Bella. They don't own Brian Bella. Come on, man. That prints money. Then they can get the NXT spin-off show. I mean, come on.
Oh, they can do the crossover with Cody and Brandy.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
What a show. What a show.
Oh, Brandy with her chocolate milk shirt on today on Instagram.
Why are you following Brandy?
I've
always followed Brandy.
Thirst trap. Now she's pregnant.
Just the pause of silence of disappointment from
she's
everyone.
no longer
pregnant.
pregnant.
A moment to be disappointed in her.
Man, you've disappointed me every week. Hell, you get disappointed me when I do a graphic for the show on Saturday. So there's nothing new for me, Manny. This is absolutely nothing new for me.
Wait, when I do a graphic for you.
No, he's saying when he does the graphic and you said you get disappointed in his graphic. When it's just I
think it's like 5 weeks straight. Manny's like, I changed the graphic. I fixed your graphic. And it's just he should just do the graphic.
No. Because it's still your show. You still need to make the effort, Eric.
So I mean, Manny, I have a question for you. I know I'm not hosting, but whatever. Old habits are hard to break. Of all the talent that was released from NXT, who do you think should go to AEW, unlike 2.0?
I know Bronson Reed is the only one that seems to have spoke out immediately. He's like, I've been released by WWE. And then he tagged every wrestling company under the sun to come get him.
That was someone that was like a single person. I'm back in the market. Bikini photo.
But he's definitely someone that is different, and he should probably go to AEW.
You know, Alberto Del Rio actually sent out a tweet in Spanish, but from the little bit of Spanish that I know, it looked like it was an uplifting tweet and also inviting all those wrestlers to come wrestle with him in Mexico. Marcus, should Del Rio just stop trying to get the publicity?
Yeah, I stay away from. I stay away from him. He almost killed Paige. He almost killed Paige. He's a douchebag anyway, so I'll just stay away from him. But on the talent that left, honestly, I can see like one person in that release bunch that should go to AEW, and that's Leon Ruff. One, they need black people on that show. Two, he fits that size.
And Ross, I have a different question for you, because I think the thing that we are really missing when they talked about the releases and whatnot, I think the whole idea of revamping NXT to me is a great idea, because I think NXT has become very stale. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, they should do. I'm just looking at the rosters now. NXT, between male and female, has got 64 people on it for a 2-hour show. That's too many people, but far too many people. You need to release more of these guys because they're not earning their money if they're not on TV. What are they doing for you?
And I think the aesthetic of the NXT arena and stuff, it already lost to AEW. We already know they lost. And I think when we brought up, is Vince really mad at NXT for losing to AEW? I think the answer is yes. He's firing everybody. He wants to change everything around. And I think it needs a new injection of life. Manny and Marcus, you guys have been big champions of NXT for a long, long time. Marcus, do you want to see changes to NXT, or do you think they should, stay the same course?
No, I think they need to. You could always revamp and change.
They should revert back to the old NXT.
The game show.
1 hour.
Yeah. Have the Miz in there with some indie darling.
Carry that barrel around the ring and jump. But I think that they do need to get out of the Performance Center / CWC. That arena just stinks of failure, and just it's something I'm tired of looking at, to be honest. In this global pandemic that everybody probably should be safer in, but whatever. I'm just tired of looking at it. Too, it can use change. It can always use change. They've had the same people on top for a minute. With like Ciampa, who they don't have anything to do with. Adam Cole is still kind of technically there. And it'd be nice to like just freshen things up and move things around. But I still think, I hope it still keeps the fundamentals of NXT, which is great in-ring work. And, solid storytelling on a week-to-week basis.
Now, Manny, I think it was a question in the chat room where I think it was El Luchador. He said that NXT will be changed into Raw Light or Raw, something like that. The idea of maybe putting some of Raw talent on NXT and having a cross-brand thing on Monday and Tuesday, could that be something that could work to maybe make both shows a little bit better, in your opinion?
No, I don't think because the booking on NXT is completely different to the booking on Raw. Raw is this mass audience. Let's try and capture everything everyone can try and enjoy on this variety show. Where NXT is just designed for a specific audience. That you don't get many ridiculous stories and stuff going on. You may get the odd one or two, but you don't get it for the entire 3 hours or the duration of the show on NXT. I think the problem with NXT as it is right now is I don't think they foresaw the problem of it actually becoming bigger than it is. But they still see it as developmental, and the fact that it's taken this whole course of like its own entity now, we're NXT, and a lot of time what they produce is better than what's going on the main shows, is the real problem here. And I think that's why they're looking at. This should still be developmental. It shouldn't be better than what we're producing on Monday and Friday, which I still think that should be on television on a Tuesday, and then they just do a regular NXT show for the network.
Yeah.
And then leave that on the network, have the performance center people that haven't made TV yet be on that.
It's lost its way. From its peak of when you had the Four Horsewomen, you had KO and Finn Balor and Joe and those sort of guys. It's completely lost its way now. It's just another run-of-the-mill show, really, with guys going to get brought up and just get beaten.
Do you guys think that the move to the USA is what ruined the lifeline of NXT? Because I think NXT on the network was, to me, a more enjoyable show because it was booking for solely wrestling fans. Yeah. Once they moved to USA, it seemed like they were trying to incorporate some of the stuff that they did on Monday Night Raw that might not really carry over to the fans who enjoy NXT. Marcus, what about you?
It wasn't the Monday Night Raw. They were going to war with AEW, which, as Cody would say, was a revolution. And
this hammer.
Yeah, and so it made people pick a side. And do you go with evil, greedy, I take everything WWE, or do you go with the underdogs of AEW? And people chose the underdog over it, and that kind of put the stank on NXT, because NXT before they went to war were in arenas, pretty much close to selling out, if not selling out, having amazing shows, and people going like NXT is the greatest thing ever, and then it's still to me the best wrestling show consistently on a week-to-week basis.
So in the chat, Levi asked, when do you guys think will be the date when WWE sell is made? If they do sell, I believe that it will happen towards the very end of the quarter, so the stock price could go up, so everybody can make more of a profit. You're not going to do it in the mid thing because you want to do it closer, so the buzz of the sale of the company makes because then what will happen is, I'm pretty sure they're going to sell to Universal, because it would also boost Peacock stock and WWE stock at the same time if they do sell. So I think it would be probably the end of quarter 3, right before you move into quarter 4.
Does that kill the network for everyone else around the world then? Do me and Manny have to find out wrestling elsewhere? Well,
I think what was being said across, I think I heard it on Cultaholic on their opening news segments, is apparently there's going to be a version of Peacock coming over to the UK.
All right.
Oh, no.
So we can't escape the Peacock, so it's going to happen.
All right.
But honestly, I know a lot of people who are wrestling fans, they're very hard on Peacock, but on the surface, I understand what they're trying to do with Peacock, because there's so many people at my job who have Peacock, but they didn't get Peacock for wrestling. They got it for all the other TV shows. And so what they're hoping...
No, it's not a TV show.
The Office. No, they have a lot of custom shows. What they're hoping is that some of the carryover from some of the success of the shows would have people watch wrestling. I remember when it was a little bit of flirtation of wrestling appearing on Netflix. I think that would have been a good thing too. Like if a company could partner with Netflix, I think it was Lucha Underground at one point, because Netflix is killing the game with original content. I think that could even be something that people need to explore a little bit more, because there's many ways to make profit, because we're on an on-demand type of situation, like showing up to watch wrestling on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. For most people, that's not what we really want to do. We kind of want to watch it when we want to on demand, because we all have busy lives. I mean, if you're married, it's kind of hard to justify to your wife, yeah, honey, I can't really have dinner or go out with you because I need to watch Raw, NXT, AEW. So the only day I have open for you is Thursday, but Impact comes on Thursday, so I might not can do that for you. And then
hold on.
Let me fix you between this NWA.
You should be calling for divorce if you're going, I need to watch Impact on a Thursday.
Betty, I've been around.
What network is that on? What network is that on? Well, honey, I bought the new YouTube subscription service so I can watch Impact.
On the fishing channel.
It's our money, yeah.
Hey, it's on the network with the critically acclaimed Schitt's Creek, a show I've never seen, but everybody talks about how entertaining
get that one.
It's not on Schitt's. It's not on that channel.
It's
They're
not.
on Switch and Access, yes.
Oh, they're on the old channel New Japan.
They're no longer going to do Twitch. And I think they're doing a YouTube subscription service where you can watch Impact commercial free. Well, I'm like, I'll be okay with not doing that.
I'm good.
Commercials are fun. Don't mind it.
I'm good, guys. I know y'all trying to make money, but there's better means. Release some talent.
But I mean,
let me jump in. Do you guys honestly believe WWE is going to sell in the next few months or so, or a quarter or whatever? Do you guys have you guys think that's happening? And show of hands, I don't know who I'm throwing it to.
I do.
Yeah, I think they will as well. Yeah,
I think for the simple reason that popularity of professional wrestling is not what it used to be. It's not generating the money that it did. Like when someone showed the numbers from Monday Night Raw, when it was getting 5 million, like every show was getting 5 million viewers each night. I mean, now they're barely scraping with getting 1.7. So I think as more people grow up, and unfortunately, as more of the behind the scenes of professional wrestling is exposed to the real world, we don't have that level of mystery anymore.
Shit wasn't doing good in the 90s, in the early 90s and 80s, in the post Hulk Hogan Prime run, in the new the Next Generation run.
That's all Diesel's fault. Don't worry about
it. And it killed the business back then. So nothing happened then. I feel like that you may think that's just justified all these firings. No, they're justifying the firings because they have too much fat. It's time to trim this fat. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with a sell. Rumors of sell can happen all the time. The only person I'm selling to if I'm WWE, and it's going to be for $1 billion or something like that, it would probably be the Disney. That would be the only person I could imagine even thinking about selling to.
But see, the thing is,
Vince is that motherfucker who isn't going to stop working until he's dead. If he wants to continue to work, he can't sell to Disney, because if he was, ran by Disney, Fox, or whoever, they're pulling him out and put some younger face in there, and he ain't gonna have that, considering he's a psychopath and he's not gonna do it till he's dead.
Let's be honest. If WWE does sell, they're just going to sell a portion of their stock. I don't think that Vince is going to give up all control, and I still think Vince will be in charge. I just think that there will be a different money revenue stream coming in. It's like it'll probably be one of those moves just for stockholders here and there. I don't think people will get what they really want if WWE truly does sell, because everybody thinks that they want Vince gone. I don't know if Vince being gone is the right answer. I just think that maybe Vince not having as much control as he once had could be something where, where he would take some outside influences from people.
Yeah.
Can I tell you this? When Vince would, and I want this show to go short.
I know, we spent half an hour on the news.
Yeah, goddamn the news.
Well, guess what? Nothing really happened on these other shows, so we don't have much to talk about anyway.
Oh, I could rant. Drew McIntyre had a sword this week, goddamn it.
And then wait,
Derek.
And then wait. On top of that, because the Untitled Manny and Marcus shows are now in the audio feed, a lot of audio listeners have already heard what you guys said about Monday Night Raw and stuff. So now you just have to do the greatest hits of what you was really stuck out to you on the wrap-up show.
As I like to say, they have my immediate reaction. They don't have my thought-out reaction.
Considered thoughts all in the show.
Yeah, when I go back and reflect, it's like, that was irrational. That wasn't the worst thing ever.
Marcus, you be irrational? Oh my God, I can't believe that.
I am a rational human being when I decide to think about being rational.
Yeah,
I don't even know about that.
Tuesday and Thursday is merely therapy for me and Marcus.
It's good for the soul.
I understand that. Because when I watch some of the shows, I'd be like, fuck, man, I ain't got nobody to talk to. And then, like, I'll send a text message to the group and no one responds to me. And I'll be like, fuck these bastards.
Well, you're too late. You don't send a vague text message.
You send out the vaguest text messages. It's like what? It's like half a sentence, and then you expect us to grasp onto it.
Manny, at least I sent out a text message. Your co-host doesn't answer any messages. You could ask Marcus, "Are you okay?" And you might think he's dead because he won't respond to a text message. I'm just saying.
I'm a little old-fashioned, all right? I believe in phone calls and pagers. Okay.
You ain't no doctor.
Doctor of Thugonomics. But
you know what? As we said, it's not often someone says I'm right. I'm partially right. I'll take that. I will take that right there. That's me. I'm partially right. Thank you, Levi. I'll take a partial. That's like me sharing a gold medal right now. I'll share that damn gold medal. Be up on the podium like, hey.
With that comment, he's right though. Vince has lost touch with what wrestling is, but he hasn't lost touch with what entertainment is. Look at the deals he signed. That Fox and that USA deal, what, $1 billion each? Like, wrestling's never been more lucrative for him, so he's just going to keep doing what he's doing because the money just keeps rolling in.
And let's also point out that when he signed that Fox deal, how many times did we see Sasha Banks and Roman Reigns show up on an NFL game, which is still one of the more popular entities in the world?
Yeah. Well, interestingly, on SmackDown, there was a little advert in the corner advertising for the Pacquiao fight on the same day as SummerSlam.
But hold on, can I also advertise? Like, I feel like when I saw that advertisement, I was like, oh, that's crazy. But then, after rationally thinking about it, I go, it's not. Because when people go do the fight parties and they do fights anyway, no one cares about the undercard. No one's there for the beginning of the fight. The person who ordered the fight might be there, but they're not paying attention to their TV. They don't turn to the fight until, like, the 9 o'clock hour when the fight is about to happen. And even then, you got, like, 2 hours of interest. SummerSlam is going to be well done before Pacquiao hits the ring. And Eric, as I toss it to you because you have your hand raised. Yes.
My question for you guys, some of these WWE releases, do you think some of these could be a clever rules to get some of these people on the main roster? It's kind of similar to when WWE let go of Samoa Joe, and the next he was resigned back to NXT. I mean, the thing about it, the one thing that you can't control is the internet and speculation. I wouldn't put it past WWE to try to troll the internet by releasing so many people that have them talk negative on. The next week, Bronson Reed is helping Finn Balor beat up Roman Reigns and whatnot. Because
I'll toss it to you.
Well, Eric, so the only person that they managed to do this alleged ruse to, was Samoa Joe. But then when you listen to the actual podcast for the WWE on Fox with Ryan Satin, when he spoke to Samoa Joe was actually released. And then it was only Triple H that actually called him maybe the same day to be like, we're going to sort something out.
Yeah.
Manny, you're being worked. You're a market for Eric.
No, I'm just saying it could be a possibility because I mean some of these guys you could see like Bronson Reed fits the mold for Vince's what he likes, but true as Marcus said, there's cheaper talent on the roster.
No, he got his fat guy back. He's got Keith Lee back.
They need one.
Yeah, I only need one bad guy. And if I need another one, I go to NXT UK, get Dan Massive, or one of those Gallus boys, or I got Odysseus Jones. The Bronson Reed was expendable at this point. When Vince McMahon was looking around going like, I have so many fat guys. I have Otis! I got Otis.
Hey, Otis is over too. Otis is over.
People like Otis. This is working. So, with all these fat guys going around, you don't need it. And, let's go with one last thing. What's your conspiracy theory of all the releases going on? Manny, I'll popcorn it to you.
It's to give Adam Cole some money, baby!
All right. Send it down to Eric.
You actually point down to Ross right there when you sent it down. But
No, I meant Manny to
Okay. So for me personally, I'm going with the whole conspiracy theory is that Vince is like, you know what? Tony Khan, I don't see how much money your daddy gonna give you because I did the same thing to Dixie Carter. Get all the talent. I'm releasing all the big names, so you go spend all your money on these people because Cody can only retire 5 times. And he already did it 2 already. So you know who else you gonna have debut with Cody? So I'm gonna send it over to Ross right now.
Yep, I agree 100%. I think he's trying to flood the market and just flood AEW with talent that they can't afford to pay them all, and he'll win ultimately because he always wins. He always wins.
It's evil. And now I'll bring it back up to myself.
Oh, wow.
And say, my conspiracy theory is Vince is bored watching wrestling himself and goes, you know what I need? I need a new WCW. And how did I do that? I got rid of Hogan. I got rid of Savage. I got rid of all my top guys. Now I'm inspired to create new guys to actually change the business. And now they will be the ones bringing in all the old guy talent. And I can run Nacho Man ads for CM Punk.
Now, Manny, I know you're controlling the helm right now. We're gonna move to SmackDown because it's something I want to say that it kind of jumps to AEW, but I don't know how you're orchestrating this, so I don't know what I should say or save it.
Yeah, you do it because you're still hosting.
No, because
I'm controlling buttons today.
I'm just gonna go and say like watching Dynamite this week, and I was a fan of Aleister Black. I thought the presentation that they had of him in NXT and things like that. However, I would say that Malachi Black, despite the hype him going, it was very bland and generic for me. He came out and like kickboxing, like there was nothing special about what happened. Like you have Cody with all the theatrics, and then I see Malachi Black sitting in the corner like he's a reincarnation of Raven. I don't know. I missed a lot from that. And then
Eric,
yes,
that whole thing was merely about Cody. It wasn't anything to do about Malachi Black because it was all about. Do you remember that time where he was going off to shoot the big show?
Yeah,
and he dropped the TNT title in like 2 minutes to Brody Lee. Exactly the same thing, like same get up and everything going in towards this match. There's another match that's probably going to happen when he's done taping this show, and that's going to be the real match. That's the match you're probably going to be wanting to watch. But this is just typical Cody booking.
But isn't that a disservice to a talent that came in? Because I thought whatever momentum Malachi Black had, once again, I think he lost a lot of it in this match because it made no sense for him to have this much hatred towards Cody Rhodes. I mean, like for him to go and attack Cody Rhodes where he's giving off his speech of like, maybe it's time for me to put my boots in the seat. And like, why does Malachi Black even care? Because we've already been told numerous occasions that he's an EVP, so he probably signed Malachi Black in the first place. So is he upset with his contract? Ross, I mean, you're fairly 2 episodes in of AEW. How did that ending fare for you?
I just don't understand it. I don't understand. Why is Cody retiring? What is he doing? Like, why is he not? It's just stupid. This whole program is stupid. None of it makes any sense to me. What the fuck is Jericho doing?
So I brought this up the last time when you were in your actual comments.
Yeah.
When I listened to your podcast and your frustrations with AEW, the funniest thing I've ever listened to. Could you please recount to our listeners the first time when you broke your AEW virginity?
What podcast is that? I know his podcast has probably more viewers.
Ring the
bell. You should say which podcast it is, Manny, and just say, to expand his listener base with our unique, fan base.
We're trying to get the rub.
That's the Ring the Bell podcast. But yeah, the first time I watched AEW, it was just my wife was on the phone to her boss, and that takes hours. So I thought, it's on. I'll put it on. It was a Thursday evening, I think, and I watched it from the beginning to the end. And I saw Dean Ambrose facing off against Carl Anderson, I think it was. I think that was it. That was it. A match from I saw from WWE 3 years ago. Didn't care about that. I saw Christian taking on Matt Hardy, a match I've seen about 1 million times in the past 20 years. Didn't care about that. Brian Cage, is that big, massive steroid freak? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was absolutely physically disgusting. I couldn't stand to watch him. Taz has got a title. Why is Taz a main part of your TV show in 2021? I don't understand that either.
I can answer that question for you.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a title to give to Brian Cage when he debuted to make him seem like he was important. So they created the FTW title that they eventually gave to Ricky Starks because it don't make no goddamn sense.
Thank you. I don't understand this company. I enjoyed Adam Page. Adam Page was the only thing I enjoyed about that whole thing. I think he looked like a superstar against. I mean, I don't get Kenny Omega. I don't understand it. Him and his buddies in Bermuda shorts and flowery like Hawaiian shirts. What are they the biggest stars you've got? And they're dressed like fucking idiots.
It's funny that, AEW has a lot of talent, but they seem like to rely on a lot of old stuff. Like, I think that, like, the not pushing Darby Allin, not having Miro appear on TV more. I mean, like, having Miro fight Shawty Lee Johnson this week. I was like, why did Lee Johnson even deserve this title shot? I mean, do we even have a rankings for the TNT title? It's just like...
we can't talk about title shot misplacement in AEW because in on wrestling the title picture makes no sense in any wrestling company.
Yes,
and I'm pointing to WWE as well.
And wait a minute,
sign a contract when he has the match booked.
Finn said on SmackDown he is no longer nice Finn anymore. He ain't gonna take this shit, and I was appreciative that Finn wasn't gonna take this shit to the point where he shoved the tribal chief. That's why I feel like Finn is gonna have a crew next week. Because he got jumped out.
What club left? It's just AJ.
He can make his own club, baby. He can make his own club, the Prince Club, the Devitt Club. I mean, come on. There's something. It's something about Finn that makes you enjoy watching him, and you feel like he was wrong in this situation. He is carrying himself in the ring. At the end of SmackDown, when he had to stare off with Roman Reigns, I thought that was a very good. I mean, yes, that's a bad look right there. But for being a smaller wrestler,
look at the referee in the corner. Look at him.
I know.
What a bad day.
But for Finn being a smaller wrestler inside the ring, he carries himself like he's the biggest dog in the. So it's like he doesn't look out of place when he's in there with
That's
Roman.
not what we're talking about here. That's not what we're talking. We're talking about title pictures and how people get into the title. Finn title picture run was this: I came back, I beat up Sami Zayn in a non-match. I fought Baron Corbin this week. I got screwed out of a contract. Therefore, I'm the number one contender. That's how he got the title picture.
Marcus, and you know why I'm going to tell you what's the difference is, yes, you're right. Title pictures have always been fucked up in professional wrestling. But one company decided they wanted to change the game and be innovative and make wins and losses count. And they decided to have something called rankings. And then their rankings make absolutely no fucking sense. When you have a fact where, yes, Adam Page lost in a 6-man tag, but somehow that affects his ranking in a singles title, and Christian wins in the tag matches, and that affects his ranking to move up the ranks. Fuck the rankings.
He fought the Blade.
Sorry, Manny. Who the fuck is the Blade?
The Blade's the motherfucker, all right? You got to beat. That's who the Blade is.
And that's like him beating me in the match. It doesn't just because you beat me doesn't mean that it means anything. It just doesn't.
What you're saying is that you're gonna lose, or is that the promo you're gonna cut after you lose? Beat me means nothing.
Exactly.
Means nothing. I don't know how you know what beat me means nothing. I'm at the bottom of the card and never had a match in my life.
Why did it take? I'll be like, why did it take you 15 minutes to beat me? I ain't got no wrestling experience. I'm looking at you, Darby Allin, Mox, and Eddie Kingston. It took you too long to destroy Everrise because there's many people in NXT that destroyed him.
In my best Scott Steiner impersonation, the reason it took so long to beat you because you're fat.
Whatever. Manny, you had a question. I'm sorry.
Because you're not controlling the buttons today. Why are you so hateful?
Because I don't have to think about controlling the buttons, so all my hate get to come out. And then I have a brother in hate right here. This man doesn't understand AEW, so he's not going to stand like you two up here to try to justify what they do. So it's okay. I don't feel alone for a change.
Because you know what? As this graphic shows us in this 4x4 square, me and Manny are above the hate. We're above all this hate. We have got above it. You guys stay deep down in there.
I live in it, man.
Hot water.
I live in it.
Talking about how Cage is on steroids and how the other Cage is worthless. And how the other Cage is in a cage match.
But, okay, you guys who are above the hate, are we wrong?
No.
Exactly.
It's just the way you say it, okay?
Just embrace the hate, boys. Come on.
All right.
Wes, in the lumberjack, I will outwork everyone. That's not going to work for you.
In the lumberjack, he's outworking everyone.
So
in the lumberjack, no one will acknowledge me.
So That was AEW. Can I go back to SmackDown? There's something
We
happening
didn't
on
cover AEW
No, because we're gonna go back because I want to talk about something that you guys haven't talked about.
We covered enough of it.
There is something that's going on in SmackDown that I just hope I'm not the only one that sees this. Don't worry, man. Mark, we're gonna get you out in time. I feel like Dominic is gonna turn on his father, and I want that to happen so much because Ray is overstepping his bound. Like he keep putting him down. Oh, you should have listened to me, son. And like, fuck you, Dad. I can't wait for one day Ray's gonna hop on Dominic's back and he just gonna backslam him to the mat. I want to see Ray. I want to see Dominic versus Ray. I need that in my life. Ross, since you're shaking your head in agreement, I'll go to you first.
He looks like a natural heel, does Dominic? He's definitely a heel. I don't know if I want to see him face Ray, but I want to see him join some sort of evil faction. That'd be quite fun.
Go ahead, Manny.
Well, I still find it strange that we're still going with this narrative. Ray continues to be a bad father. He's holding his son back from.
We know Ray's a bad father.
And then
SummerSlam ladder matches.
And then forcing his son to carry him to the ring. What is this? My legs don't work. Carry me to the ring, son.
Protect my knees, son. I feel that backdrop onto the ramp will be the greatest turn ever. And I would want Dominic's gimmick to be just a modern millennial hypebeast. He is a fuckboy out there just being a terrible human being in the locker room, and I'm all for it. To the point where I even want him to get a faction of Sons of Legends, and he gets Goldberg's son in there, and he gets Cody comes back, and he's the leader of this group. It'd be the new legacy, and I'm all for it.
I mean, like Dominic has been one of the strongest. Recently debut young stars that they have. And quite frankly, I know a lot of people was like a little awful because he was Ray's son, but him as a bad guy turning on his father, maybe being part of, he acknowledges Roman Reigns. I mean, it just, it kind of writes itself. And I think, Ray, if Ray loses the title against the Usos because something Dominic does, and then he talks about, you messed up, son. Like, fuck you, Dad. Like, your prime is over. Your prime is over.
Dad. Screw you, Dad. You never did anything for me. Son, that Gucci belt you're wearing, that Louis Vuitton.
Because
me.
Clearly, Dominic doesn't want to be He doesn't want to be Dr. Dre's 38-year-old daughter who wants someone to take care of him. He wants to be his own man in this situation. And I'm all for Dominic destroying his father's legacy. If anybody can put Ray into the grave, it should be his own son, who is really not his son. If he came out and said, Eddie was always my real father, that would even make it so much better for me. Ah, man.
You are a hateful man.
If he goes, why? And his speech is, why would I turn on my son? Because I lie, I cheat, and I steal. And it's like, oh shit, son, you turned on him. I turned on you because of that Latino heat. Okay?
Now, Manny, I'm going to ask you a question because I know how you feel about Sasha Banks. And Sasha Banks, she started the show off. I felt that she toned down her accent a little bit, that she does. Yeah, a little. But how did you like the opening segment with Sasha, Bianca, and Zelina? Might have been my favorite segment of the whole entire week for all the wrong reasons.
It wasn't a good segment at all. You'd think it would be better, but because Zelina can talk, but she, much like Finn Balor, just entering herself into a title picture when she shouldn't be.
Well, last week,
thank you, Marcus. Go ahead and break it down, Marcus.
Last week, Bianca told her that she can have that title shot last week on SmackDown. All right, that is a verbal agreement. Therefore, she is the new #1 contender, which proves that WWE's rankings and number 6 makes less sense than AEW because Zelina Vega didn't even have a job 2 weeks prior to season.
What I liked about this segment, and I told Marcus on the phone,
had a bum come off the street and ask for a title match.
I told Marcus, this is like an argument or a disagreement in front of his apartment building, and the WWE title is just a man that they all have had a relationship with, and they're trying to fight over who's gonna get it back. Sasha was the ex that Bianca took with the title, and she's like, I can get it back anytime I want. And Zelina is the fiery firecracker. It's like, bitches, y'all ain't better than me. And literally, they're having an argument over who deserves to be the champion, and I love it because it's more street than what it, and it felt authentic to me. Ross, how did you like the interaction between these three ladies?
Yeah, I love Sasha Banks. She's the best women's wrestler in the world for me. And
Ooh, spicy.
And that outfit was fire.
Yeah, she was great as well.
Can I tell you who thought that outfit was fire? That man back there.
Yeah, yeah, fire.
I paid my ticket to get this shot right here.
And then the 20 other men behind her taking pictures.
That dude got it zoomed in on her back, like right there.
Right
Oh no, and there's that one lady with the little sarcastic, kind of looks like Shayna Baszler back there looking.
Oh yeah,
Fuck
she's not
men.
interested.
Yeah, fuck men.
But yeah, I'm all for it. I don't know. I don't know if I want to see Sasha versus Bianca again, but hopefully Sasha can win, take the title, and move on to a different feud.
But I will say Bianca versus Bianca versus Alina was actually a really good SmackDown match. I think it might have been my favorite match of the night. I thought they really put on a good show. I don't care for. I think I'm getting tired of the involvement of Sonya and Adam. Like, I think, as always with authority figures, they appear on the TV too much, and these authority figures are not making any sense. Last week, we have them allow Cena to replace Finn, and then this week, although Bianca told Zelina, you can have a title match, we're not going to give that to you, but you can give it to Cena. Marcus, I think this is the type of continuity that you talk about where it doesn't make any sense. Am I correct?
No, I don't think this has a continuity error at all. I look at John Cena. Yeah, he can have a title match. I look at Selena Vega. Why the fuck I'm giving her a title match? See, that made perfect sense to me.
How many t-shirts is she selling?
You aren't John Cena. Your man went to AEW, and I ain't got time for you. All right? You're lucky we brought you back.
Well, your man went to AEW, but he also proved why we let him go and we kept you because you put more butts in the seats.
You're treating him like he's a piece of trash. Yes,
he looked like a piece of trash walking out, Marcus. There was nothing special.
It was, I don't know what you expected, but I got enough. I was like, okay, that's solid. You make it seem like he just walked out to the ring and was like, Aleister Black.
So, Manny, your boy Big E keeps hitting at the fact that he's lurking in the shadows for Roman Reigns. Do you enjoy that aspect of him, putting the fear inside the tribal chief?
Yeah, I just like to let you know that I'm here. That's one of those things. I'm still here, guys.
It's a good way to use that. This is a good way to use the briefcase. Just keep reminding them, because sometimes you just get the briefcase and you just disappear. You lose loads of matches just to set up to be win. But I like that they're keeping him strong by saying, I'll keep my eyes on you.
Yeah. Then there's another thing that's taking place on SmackDown.
I need him to show up on Raw, though. I need him to show up on Raw and threaten Bobby.
No,
we'll see. Threaten Bobby. Because the whole thing is Bobby killed Kofi Kingston.
Marcus, normally I would agree with you in this situation, but however, for whatever reason for me, the Goldberg-Bobby situation, them bringing in his son who grew up so fast, it's working for me. Like, because this right now, I'll let you know. This seemed like two grown men fighting over some land that Goldberg feels he's entitled to, but Bobby Lashley took and he made flourish. I don't know why this became like an old slave movie, but it did. But whatever.
Fuck?
I mean,
I never went down that route at all.
Why did you go down this route?
Because Goldberg was his land back. Goldberg was the best, and Bobby Lashley is there trying to take his crops and ruin them. I don't know. I got shit else, but that's what I thought about it.
The old white guy in the room.
Yeah, you literally turned this to the intruder star Dennis Quaid.
I did.
That's really what you turned this into.
And I'm okay with doing that. But then we go back to the Intercontinental Championship, Marcus. You claim, and I'm going to many. Marcus is complaining that nothing makes sense. But now with the Intercontinental title, we're having these qualifying matches where people fight the champion for whatever reason. Why did Nakamura have to fight Apollo Crews? And then we got no finish in this.
It's been happening for weeks. They're calling them contenders matches, which sound really stupid.
Yes.
Where they fight the champion and then you automatically in contention for the title. They've done this before, but they've never put a name to it.
It feels like Apollo Crews is getting the short end of the stick because he has to go and fight these people who are contending for his title, and then if he loses, then he has to fight for his title. So all his tricks.
I ask you a question. If you're Apollo Crews at this point, do you demote Commander Aziz for Nakamura now being the number one contender for the Intercontinental title?
I think going into the match, my argument as a champion, and according to WWE lore, I don't think a disqualification should make you a number one contender. Personally, it's a disqualification. It's a win, but it's not a win. Hey, let me point out, a disqualification, a title cannot change hands unless if it's notified. So technically, I feel that a disqualification should not lead to a person becoming a number one contender because that is an object of changing hands. That's how I think about it.
No one changed hands here. But he should be Deputy or Petty Officer Aziz at this point. Ever since he joined Apollo's corner, Apollo can't seem to win. Apollo has been losing every single week to every single body that they decided is going to be the next Intercontinental title. I'm hoping, I'm praying to God that Shinsuke Nakamura take this belt away from Apollo so we can end this reign.
Yes, but Marcus, I'm
Black man carrying the spear with Aziz. This is going nowhere.
But Marcus, I'm concerned with Nakamura taking anything from somebody because he took the crown from Baron Corbin. He don't even wear the crown anymore. He don't even care. He broke that man and he doesn't even care anymore. So just imagine him taking an IC title from Apollo Crews and just leaving it in the back. Like I just don't know if Nakamura is in the right state of mind because he broke a man for no good reason. It was no reason to do what they did to Baron Corbin. Not a man is broke.
It's Books.
What about you, Ross? How do you feel about this whole IC title picture?
I mean, to me, this is all just going to end up with a Commander Aziz versus Omos for the IC title at SummerSlam. Next year.
Yes!
Yeah, we're going to get there, aren't we? Vince loves these two guys.
Yes, but Omos is a far superior wrestler to I'm not even giving the credit of his name.
So Benny, this clash has to happen at some WrestleMania or some kind. Commander Aziz versus Omos.
You can't even get it out.
Night 2.
Almost choked and died. But the reason this has to happen, we can tell the story from way back when they had beef in the Raw Underground. And we can put Raw Underground back in canon. That they had canon. And Dabba-Kato and the man that stood at the door has always had beef. I never liked you when you walked in the door in the Underground.
Told you, I'm all about long running storylines. This is happening.
Like, I would say that, like, the one thing Friday Night SmackDown did for me, though, they did make me want to come back next week to find out exactly what's going on between Finn, Cena, and Roman. Because, like, Finn is right. You can't do this bullshit to me. So how are we going to fix this shit? This needs to be fixed. Yeah. I mean, Jacob, Peacemaker, whatever you want to call his ass, he can't come in here and ruin people who are doing their job.
Who's Jacob?
Yo, come on, man. I mean, this is the summer of Cena. I know all the characters he has played. But overall, outside of Tegan Nox versus Tamina, I thought SmackDown was a fine show. It got the job done. Because I don't understand why we can't strip Tamina and Natty of the tag team titles since Natty's going to be out for a while. Like, let Natty go.
I blame Natty for all my problems in my life. Now we're getting Tamina singles matches, guys. This is out of hand.
She's going to take them both on, isn't she? She's going to have a 1-on-2 women's match for the tag team titles.
Yeah, you not only once a week,
because you
like
wanted
twice
her to
a
be
week.
A champion. You wanted her to be a champion. Now she's
not
Tamina
on every show.
Now she's Tamina 2 belts, and now you don't want to see it
from every show. This is
just join the bloodline. Just join the bloodline and get on with it. Drop those belts and just enjoy them.
This is Marcus's and Wesley's fault. They always kept claiming there was nobody meaner than Tamina, and this is what you guys get. This is what you guys get. Every week we see, and then the worst part about me watching this whole match, I was like, damn, they gonna put Tamina in this ring with Tegan Nox, who's more fragile than China. She might break something in there. I mean, this girl got
China Glass. You mean China Glass, not the
That's
wrestler,
right. I forget when you talk about wrestling, you can't say China because people think about China, the knife wonder of the world, and not China, the stuff that you bring out when you have relatives over. I mean, my fault.
I was gonna bring this up to you. So her finisher is the shining wizard.
The
shiniest wizard.
She pulled down the knee pad, and I was like, "Oh,
yes,
that is not a good idea."
And then if we
Manny,
grew
there's
up,
so much metal in that knee. That's why she had to do it.
Yes,
so are you calling her Lex Luger?
Hold on.
She has the loaded knee. She has the bionic knee.
It's not but the one thing that Bionic Me has a weakness to, and this is something that I've learned from watching years and years of wrestling, and that is a Samoan's head. A Samoan's head is the hardest thing in professional wrestling. You know, it's just, you know, Tamina is double champ. I call now I can get her shirt. Wes, you ain't buying no shirt because you don't buy shirts. You make your own shirts. That's what you do. That's what you do.
We want to talk about Samoan heads. That sounds terrible. But like I was going to something completely different. But no. Nia Jax did a headbutt to Rhea Ripley this week, and they did some headbutts action there, and then it resulted in blood being shed tonight on that Monday Night Raw. So much blood, I couldn't take it.
Is that all you had? Is that all you had?
Yeah.
You just want to talk about? You want to bring up Monday Night Raw, and you don't want to talk about Nikki Ash getting that illustrious win over the evil Charlotte. And I felt like
Charlotte's ass this week. She whooped Charlotte's ass this week, Eric. I swear. If Charlotte wasn't wearing those shoulder pads in the ring when she originally hit her with that chair, Charlotte would be dead. She'd be dead. That's what Nikki Ash was full of hell, and she brought the chair. She used that chair better than Shanky, and so I'm just saying she's the new chairman of the WWE.
The new chairman.
Yeah.
Can I honestly say, personally and professionally, of all my years of watching professional wrestling, I never thought there would be a day where I would see a sword versus a steel chair match. And I just said, what the fuck was this going on? Like, literally, in the situation, I'm led to believe by watching wrestling, as long as I have watched wrestling for, that steel chair should be more powerful than that sword. But we're getting to the point where everything that you guys say week in and week out, someone needs to bring a gun to the ring and solve all these problems. Because why are we bringing all these weapons that when we know we can solve all the problems? I mean, guess what? Shotzi has a tank. Put a knife in there,
Yeah, just off Baron.
Wait till we get to Texas, Eric. Wait till we get to Texas, where everybody has a area. Like,
shit.
But
look,
it ain't that serious, Drew. It ain't that serious. Used to be a man.
Marcus,
now you putting knives and swords on people.
Marcus, I have a very important question for you, though.
Just go get his gun.
Marcus, I have a very important. I have a very important question for you.
With that man.
Marcus, I have a question for you, and this is one that I always ask you because this is something that's really dear to your heart. Is Shanky the worst big man in the game right now?
Oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely.
Really?
Not. No, he's not.
But he needs I think you said on your show he needs some type of facial hair or something, Marcus. He's pretty bad.
No, he needs Jesus and everything else.
He needs Jesus.
He's not the worst big man in the game.
Then who's the worst big man in the game then?
Boa.
Boa's not a big man.
He's a big man.
He's like 6'8", 6'9".
No, he's not.
Yeah.
No.
Boa is the worst big man in the game because Mercedes Martinez stood up to him and pushed him aside.
It was like, excuse me, sir. Well, I don't hit women. Damn, he's the worst big man in the game. No, I'm honestly going to say the worst big man in the game. And he isn't even that big. He's mostly, as Ross alluded to, a steroid genetic freak. Whatever. Brian Cage might be the worst big man in the game because he does nothing. He does nothing. With all his muscles and might, he gets beat by little more people, and he does nothing.
Speaking of we need to find some big men in the game, I want to jump into NXT. NXT started off with the match between Hit Row and the Legado del Fantasma. And right now, I'm just at a situation where my team, Legado del Fantasma, we need to get some size into our group. True, that jacket was ugly as hell, but he got the grill. But the problem is we had a lot of casualties in this situation. We need to isolate Top Dollar and then what's her name? What's her name?
Be fat.
We need to get somebody that can put some hands on her. We are losing the battle right now. The only one that we can beat up is Swerve and Ashanti Adonis. F that dude.
If you got to bring a woman into this faction, who are you bringing?
Well, I was going to do Mercedes Martinez, but they let her ass go.
Well, the only person on the books, which I can see, Eric, is your girl, Catalina Garcia.
Yo, still there. Catalina Garcia ain't going to really bend the needle. I don't know what we got to do, but somebody, Marcus, I'm assuming you're enjoying Hit Row, but Marcus, your boy Swerve is the worst part of Hit Row. but he is the leader.
Grill. They took his grill. Wait, how are you saying that when Ashanti the Adonis still breathes?
Because he has a purpose. He has a purpose. We know he's the loser of the group.
No, he came to work as Shinsuke Nakamura that night.
He's the king of strong style. He almost wrestled in that turtleneck, and I was about to say, ain't nobody ever wrestled in a turtleneck before in their life. Oh,
that's a gimmick I need to see.
Yeah, I know, the turtleneck wrestling.
Yeah, but no shirt, just like underpants.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if he can wrestle in a turtleneck, Ikemen wrestles in his jacket, which I thought he was a one and done dude guy, but apparently he was fed to Ridge Holland this week. But who am I to judge what they did with that dude?
How good was that jacket?
That jacket should be illegal. He's hitting them with the zipper. It's illegal.
It's a foreign object.
Yeah, it's a foreign object. I shouldn't be able to get punched by a man in his jacket, but he did now.
I mean, you guys being.
By the way, can I tell you, I knew Jake Atlas was fired when they brought in Ikemen Jiro.
So, you guys being Englishmen and all, how do you guys like the faction of Pete Dunne, Oni Lorcan, and now Ridge Holland? Are you guys liking that foundation that's going? I'll start with you first,
I love
Ross.
it now. I'm just playing. I know I'm not English. I just want to jump in.
Anything Pete Dunne's in, I love. I love Pete Dunne. Yeah, his contract is up pretty soon as well.
So,
I'm
Ross,
really
I hate that I set you up right there because you are my brother. I hate because you say anything that Pete Dunne is, you're a fan of. Word is that his contract may be up also. So if he jumps to AEW, would you still be a fan of Pete Dunne in AEW?
No, I can't do it.
Dead
to me.
So would you be like WWE, where someone goes to another company like AEW, and then you just forget that they exist for like 4 years, and then when he comes back, it's like, oh, he came back for a portal.
He's just been sleeping for 4 years. Yeah,
It was like that time Sting showed up on WWE. He hasn't just been on Impact for the past 20 years or whatever. Like, oh snap! I can't believe it's Sting. He still got it.
So Manny, I have a better question for you. Forget about the Pete Dunne's crew. My question for you though, Manny, is
done? No, I'm done.
How do you feel that probably the last match in Diamond Mine's history was Roderick Strong versus Bobby Fish?
It was a good match.
Yeah, but they probably would never mention the Diamond Mine again after this.
You know, Eric. I don't care about anyone in Diamond Mine except Malcolm Bivens.
He's going to failure after failure, though. Everything he touches turns to shit.
No, the only thing he put all his trust in Tyler Russ. That's the problem.
So is he just Strong's manager now? Is that how they moving forward?
Technically, he is Strong's manager, but the problem is that Malcolm Bivens should be let go if he thought that he could build a foundation with Roderick Strong being the front man. I mean, I hate to let you know, Roderick Strong is on that same level of Ashanti Adonis, where he's in the group, but you know he's in the group to lose, so nobody else loses in the group.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
I said it.
Strong is a credible wrestler, and I would watch any Roderick Strong match before Ashanti the Adonis. Before just for the record, Eric. How dare you? But you are right. He has no charisma whatsoever.
But charisma oozing of oodles and noodles, that is Cameron Grimes and LA Knight, who fought the grizzled young veterans. The GYV gets no love in NXT, but at the same time, Cameron Grimes and LA Knight being a team together and LA Knight walking out on Cameron Grimes was not a surprising thing. But Marcus, the pep talk from the $1 Million Man.
What do you mean it was surprising? He jumped on the apron.
No, I said it wasn't surprising.
No, it was surprising. Anytime somebody jump off the apron, it's surprising. It gets me every time, and it's the greatest moment in wrestling. Because I, just like Manny, and probably everybody on this cast, would love to be a part of a tag team and turn your partner that way and jump off the apron.
Well, Manny's already turned on me.
Walk away.
Yeah.
He turned on me slowly in 2K17, I believe he turned on me. He had a great tag team going.
Your character made my job a lot more harder with it 68 overall. I had to stay in the ring the whole time.
I was happy that GYV got a win, but I think that LA Knight, Cameron Grimes might be the best thing going on NXT. Would you agree with that, Manny? It's the only thing that's somewhat fresh.
I think that story is getting a bit stale for me. It needs to come to an end, and I think they're getting towards the end, so it's not a big deal that it's getting a bit stale, but like they are coming to an end, which will probably be Takeover.
do we really want LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes for a freedom match, Ross? Is that what we need?
No, we don't. I'm enjoying the feud, but yeah, I don't know. They are probably the best feud going on NXT right now because they're kind of lacking in feuds at the minute. There's no kind of massive story apart from Samoa Joe. But
yeah, I mean, the main event was that we're gonna keep Dexter. We're gonna keep Dexter. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
The problem with the Joe feud is the whole fact that Karrion Kross went to the main roster and got busted up by Jeff Hardy.
Who has, by the way, has not been seen since then.
He got COVID.
And lived to the side.
He got COVID and went into hiding. He went into hiding because Kross is probably going to have to murder him to get his reputation back. Like, you got to kill him. But, that's the only thing hurting the Samoa Joe feud is that whole Jeff Hardy thing, that little blip in there. Because I thought they were telling a really good story, but when I see the story now, it's like, Joe, you can whoop him up. Jeff Hardy did. Like, it just seems like that's what happened to this story. It was derailed by
Joe has to win the title,
Monday. Yeah. And then you have, Kross fighting Keith Lee, and they going 50-50 back and forth with their feud. And it just seems like Kross is busy with other things right now than Samoa Joe.
I was really upset that Trey Baxter won the match in the breakout tournament. I really wanted Joe Gacy. I thought, once again, Joe Gacy was another big man mode of Bronson Reed, showing other reasons why Vince said, I don't need this. I have so many of these guys.
I got Joe Gacy. I got Odessa Jones.
Joe Gacy was a fat Aleister Black, and you know it.
And I enjoyed every minute of it. And I thought he should have got the win, but he didn't.
Neither one of these guys are winning. Duke Hudson is going to win.
That's
what I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for Duke Hudson.
Now, I just have a question.
I'm smoking cigarettes and drinking whiskey before everything.
So, there was a segment where you had the NXT Women Tag Team Champions trying to bond with each other. I kind of felt it made Zoe Stark look like a racist and was not really open to any new type of thing. Like, and then like Io knew that she wasn't shit. And that's why she ordered all the expensive stuff from the sushi menu, had a great meal, and walked out with it. Ross, did you like this little segment they did with Zoe Stark and Io?
Like you said, she came across massively racist.
Yeah, I was just like
uncultured swine is what she is.
I was like,
the fact that she didn't know what wasabi was made me go, where the fuck have you been? In your entire existence.
Yeah.
Was this not know what's up? Is this avocado?
Was this like her first time ever going to a Japanese restaurant when everybody knows that Japanese food is the craze in America right now? Like, it just made absolutely no sense to me. And then like the question is,
Zoe Starks look old, Eric, and she has old woman mentality.
But then there was like something to the effect of I just speak the language or something like that, and I was like, she couldn't figure that shit out. I mean, there was some stuff what I made that looked good to me. I was ready to eat it. I mean, at least try it once.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and then at the end of the day, Johnny Gargano kept, Dexter Lumis from getting up into Indy. But at that, the love couldn't stop. Man, he put it up there. He got his action in. And I would say, ironically, this might be one of the few things to come back to NXT with to find out how they're going to do it, because I need Dexter Lumis to be invited over to Gargano's for dinner. I need him to be served that dry ass chicken. And then they're going to do that shit in one of them bedrooms upstairs, and they're going to be pissed.
They walk in. If they go to the Gargano house and go upstairs and walk in on Lumis and Indy, it would be hilarious for whatever reason.
But this is why I say I feel like NXT really needs a refresh, because we're streaming at stars. Like, literally, I'm sorry, like Gargano versus Dexter for the if he can love Indy or not should not be your main storyline of the show. And literally, it should be Joe versus Karrion Kross. But we all know what Jeff Hardy did to Karrion Kross. So
are you not invested in this angle? I am.
Yes, but the thing is, Manny, and I'll be completely honest, I've been a Dakota Kai fan for a very long time. But the one thing I know about Dakota Kai, she would just always let me down in the end. Every time she gets an opportunity, she couldn't beat Tegan Nox. She couldn't beat Io. She just can't win it when it counts. And I'm sorry to say, I can see Raquel Gonzalez walking away as NXT champion before I see her dropping it to Dakota Kai.
Eric. I see her losing to Dakota Kai, her turning up on Raw in 9 weeks after she's had a boob job. All right.
Oh, don't forget dyeing her hair blonde, Manny.
I think Vince's question of buying women titties ended when he had to release 2 sets of titties that he bought for Billie Kay and Casey Lee, which is still the crazy story that she asked to be split up for Billie Kay. She killed the Iconics. She killed them.
She just turned heel this week.
We already expressed our opinions on this on Thursday.
Now, Ross,
and we put Sean Spears to blame. He put that stupid ideology that's in his head, that's into her head, and it cost everybody's gold of entertainment and started the path of releasing everybody.
Now,
gotta be joking me.
Before the rants begin, I would like to give a shout out in the AJ Styles pound out to Daniel Linwin, who donated $15 to the show. And we really appreciate it. Remember, if you want to help us out, you can go to dspn.com / nope, actually, Manny, can you help us? Because I don't remember what the website is.
Wow.
Website. Which website?
For where you can buy a t-shirt.
/DSPN.
Oh, that's how it goes. Not dspn.com / Store Frontier. My fault.
We don't own Stud Frontier.
How are you getting out? So you've been doing it wrong this whole time?
No, I do it right, but I don't have the buttons in front of me, to put the smoke up and things of that nature, But Ross, I have a very important question. Right. On the very first match on AEW Dynamite, they took us back to 1998. They let us revisit a match between Juventud Guerrero and Chris Jericho. How did you like this blast from the past? Probably something that you didn't know that you needed in the year 2021. After we have made it through 1 year of a pandemic, we're getting Chris Jericho versus the Juice.
Yeah, I didn't need this. I don't ever need this. Fuck these 2 guys. Fuck Chris Jericho, the COVID denying twat, super spreader. I can't stand this guy anymore. I used to love Jericho, and sure, he gives lots of money to people that need it, but just fuck him and his whole thing.
You don't like this incarnation?
For those who don't understand what Ross just said, and I think it was pretty clear, but I would like to say it again. Fuck him. Fuck Chris Jericho. Fuck him. One of the greatest analysis of a match I've ever seen.
COVID denying super spreader. He's a fucking dick.
What I would say that the last 2 years for Jericho being in AEW has not been the best. His first year in AEW was amazing because he was the face of the company. But then COVID happened and he became
that's when Jericho finished for me there with the list.
That
was the end of Jericho.
He can stick his list up his arse.
I have so many issues with this match, and I think the biggest issue I had was the stipulation, which kept me watching the match because I was like, how is Jericho going to win with a top rope move? They got me when he got the lion saw from the top rope. I thought that was the way that they were going to end the match. Lion Tamer. And Marcus, I think quite frankly, you would prefer for it to end that way because you said, and I quote, that was the slowest Judas effect off the top rope that you have ever seen. Marcus, could you please speak on what you thought about the finish of that match?
It looked like a sack of potatoes falling from the sky. That's what it looked like. Literally, that's what I got from that movie. It was like, oh no, Hoobie, watch out for those potatoes. Like, that's what it looked like. Because it just went clunk at the end. I did not need to see that. And for the Excalibur and whoever's on commentary, what an athletic maneuver that was. I was like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was terrible, and it was unnecessary. I did not need that in my life.
Unlike you, Marcus, I admit it was slow, but I thought it was impressive because I was like, you know what? I didn't think he could turn around, and he looked like he knocked the shit out of Juventud, in my opinion. I think my biggest issue that I had, and I'm going to see...
Potatoes can hurt you, Eric. That's what it's going to happen. He was a fat piece of shit who did a spin move. All right? There was nothing about that. It was just like, what are you doing? Cannonballs hurt, Eric.
Marcus, With that being said, a sack of potatoes can hurt somebody, but what I was very upset with AEW is afterwards you have Wardlow attacking Chris Jericho.
I can't believe you just got to gloss over that he fought Juventud Guerrero and he had nothing but botches in this match. They could not even do anything. Watching this match, you know what happened? I went home and thanked my Rey Mysterio, Eric. I went home and said, Rey Mysterio, you are older than Juventud Guerrero, and you are still moving at a nice pace and aren't fucking up as much. I respect Rey Mysterio and appreciate his contributions to the business 100 times more. Juventud Guerrero can't do shit.
No, so
he doesn't deserve to be on TV anymore.
I think this is a problem that happens in AEW. I think the problem is that they have nobody telling somebody, I don't think you can do this anymore. You need to stop doing it. Rey Mysterio is a realist. He understands where his limitations are at. I don't think, yes, Manny was having internet connections. I don't think that for the fact that Juventud realizes who he is as a person or as a record label.
No, Manny was offended about the Juventud criticism.
He might have been. He might have been. But like, the thing is,
he's an anti-COVID, so he was like, I can't deal with these guys no more.
The juice being loose makes absolutely no sense. I mean, like him trying to do hurricanranas, it was awful. And it's not like Jericho can whatsoever. And, I was going to ask, Manny this question, but since he's not here, I have to go to Ross.
Go ahead.
So,
go ahead.
So at the end of the match, no surprise, Wardlow comes and he beats up Jericho. Yep. Next thing you know, he announces that he will be the 4th level or whatever he has to go through, and then MJF will be the special referee. Later on the night, they announced that he will not be the referee, but he will be at ringside. This to me, I just don't care anymore.
No, I mean, bringing these outside guys in, these names, fine. That's fine, and it makes it kind of a special event. But Wardlow, I don't care, and it's just overbooked, and this is just a lackluster next match. This Trials of Jericho thing is nonsense, I think, anyway. But this is not an exciting next match.
No, and it's like I just don't know really. Wow, Wes just called you Malachi Black. If you put the disc, you know what, Ross, you do look like Malachi Black in a way. And you hit a spinning roundhouse kick. I'm curious.
I don't know. I'm a bit cool. I might try.
Manny, I was asking you, like, the 4th lumber of Jericho, him facing Wardlow. This is whatever. I don't know.
He's chopping wood. The 1st lumber of Jericho. The 5th lumber of Jericho.
He's a sack of potatoes, so whatever. I'm just saying, like, we've seen this with Cody. We all knew Wardlow was going to be an option. Can we just get this over with? Do you even want to see Jericho versus MJF?
No, I don't even want to watch it at this point. I want to watch him face the entire roster and him never get to face MJF and him just go away and fade to black.
Nice. With this Labors of Jericho thing, it is ridiculous that we've got this far. I understand getting through the first labor, but if I really don't want to fight the dude, you're fighting the entire locker room, like Manny said. You got to beat everybody. And they have knives. Okay? Like, that's where we're at. Because
you got swords and chairs.
Yeah. We got weapons. You can't use them. I would just throw. I have a gun, You must march forward and take the pin. And Jericho's like this. All right, man. Damn, it ain't that serious.
You know what? I'm going to do something. In AEW, I'm going to make a plea with you. I'm going to look you dead in the camera and I'm going to say this to you. Can you shock the system? Let Wardlow defeat Chris Jericho so we don't have to see Jericho versus MJF, and we can just go on with something else. And if it does, I will never hate on AEW again. I promise.
That's a stretch. You can't even hold yourself to that bargain.
Yeah, and you can't say I want them to. You can't say I want them to shock the system and not say and make it say sign Adam Cole or something. Because you use those exact words.
I can do what I want to do, Marcus, because that's what I am.
Move the show along, man. This is almost
Marcus, I'm moving along. You keep bringing up shit. You keep bringing it up.
You don't want to talk about Juventud. You don't want to talk about Jericho.
That was a big moment. In AEW, Juventud came up since 1998, Marcus. We all needed it. I was graduating high school when they fought last. At the age of 41, I never thought I would see the day, especially with Juventud and his drug problems, him being alive to wrestle. I didn't know. But Marcus, since you have the most time, so maybe you can keep your answer low. Did you like the way that the I guess the Super Elite was trolling the audience with all the outfits of the released wrestlers going on? Did you like that little aspect that they had right here? Fuck Brandon Cutler, by the way.
I thought Brandon Cutler had the best moment of the segment when he got the ball and started talking nonsense. But they did shoot the basketball. They made it. They were passing it along. It was whatever it is. I need a real champion.
So, Ross, unfortunately, the best match I think of AEW this week was Christian versus Blade. Blade is a character no one cares about, and Christian no one cares about.
Give him why are you taking the away from him?
Yeah, the Blade.
Because I thought
he ain't Wesley Snipes. There's only one Blade. He's the Blade. All right, don't get it twisted. All right, he don't hunt vampires at night.
And Marcus, I'm trying to prolong the show, but you just can't help yourself. I mean, you're like a you still got it chant, man. You just I mean, Christian got that. You still got it chant in that match. I just don't know if you really
upset that they did that by my 7th match back or so. You still got it. You guys haven't really been watching me, huh?
I'm outworking everybody. I'm outworking you all.
I just don't get the point of watching Christian in 2021. I wasn't that excited for his pop and his return at the Rumble.
Ross,
now, in fact,
the thing is, they couldn't get Edge, so they had to get Christian.
He's the next best thing.
He was their surprise. This is like everyone. Oh man! So you weren't there because you've only 2 episodes in. This is when Tony Khan announced one of his big surprises. Oh yeah, we have a big signing, and everybody was speculating who was going to be, and then it was Christian Cage, and everybody was like, "Oh, Christian Cage."
There's a reason they got Christian and Matt, and then Jeff and Edge are on WWE WrestleMania. Yeah.
You got the talent at once.
But it's Christian is like, hey. You want Coke? Is Pepsi okay?
Yeah. No, actually, that's like Marcus. I hate to tell you, Christian's like getting Shasta, man. Like not even Pepsi.
That's mean. That's mean.
Because Virgin Code when you came on.
Yeah, because you realize
that still exists.
What you guys got? What's your cheap cola?
That Virgin Cola used to be really shit. Like Panda Cola from the corner shop.
Oh, no, don't you dare speak ill of Panda Pop. Don't you dare.
Oh, man.
Panda Pop.
Shit.
When you were a child and those were like 30p, those were the ones.
Marcus.
Full of sugar.
Marcus.
Full of sugar.
But did you see the fighting stance that Manny got in the chair?
Don't you talk about Panda Cola.
Panda Cola. I will drive to wherever you at, Ross, and I will whoop your ass and tell you that Panda Cola was the best.
That's where I draw the line right there, buddy. That's where I draw the line. I'll kill you over some Panda Cola.
Ross, I'll see you later. Blanket match.
I don't know what a blanket match would be. So I'm going to ask Manny, because Manny, you were very critical of the title pictures and stuff like that. Can you explain to me how Red Velvet is now, I guess, the number 1 contender for Britt Baker?
Well, she's gone through Nyla Rose. Sheeta is non-existent. So going through Marcus's whole thing of back to 1, you just got to go through them all.
21-4. What a great record that is. What the fuck that means?
I just feel like the worst thing you could ever do is when you talk about your champion and then you bring the NWA women's champion Camille and you put her in the ring against Layla Hirsch and then fucking
giant of a woman.
Camille just looks like a real fucking champion. And like right now, I'll be like, damn, Camille versus Raquel Gonzalez, book that shit. Like I feel like AEW shits on their own product by opening up this forbidden door, because then you realize in all these forbidden places, they have a lot more better talent than what they got. Like Camille, to me, I was like, shit. I mean, she looked good. She was tall. I don't care. I could care less about her fighting Layla Hirsch. And then I remember when NWA was, she couldn't talk at one point, but she a bad bitch right now. And then right after she debuts, they showed Jade Cargill, and we ain't seen her in 3 weeks, Marcus. What are we doing with Jade Cargill?
We got an update on Jade Cargill. Hold on, I have breaking news about Jade Cargill. What's that? Oh, she's still not doing anything. She's still not doing anything. She's still not doing anything is breaking news. She's going to be on Dynamite 3 weeks from now, talk about she's that bitch one more time. But as what I'm learning, she's that bitch that don't show up. That's who she is. She's a flake. That's what she doesn't show up at all.
So Marcus Shoddy, Lee Johnson took Miro to the limit. How did you feel about that?
I was just happy we got 3 different black people on the show at this point.
That's fair. Ross, I have a question for you. They announced the announced team for Rampage. It's going to be Excalibur. It's going to be Mark Henry. It's going to be Chris Jericho. And it was going to be one more person that I can't. Was it Tony Schiavone? No, it's Paul White. Do you even care?
They're just signing people for like, no reason now. There's no point in having Paul White and Mark Henry to do the same job, basically. Just stick them both on commentary. Yeah, sure. There's nothing else for them to do, is there, at this point?
No, not really. And then going back to the Layla Hirsch situation, Mandy, can you explain to me why Layla Hirsch is associated with the best friends when they already have a female in their crew?
You can have multiple people in one group.
You got more than one.
Not in wrestling. Friend. Not in wrestling.
One woman's enough. Come on. NWO taught us this. One woman's enough.
Shout out to Ric Flair.
I don't like that you brought up the best friend to having to be people. That commentary does, one, the world's largest commentary table ever. Two, probably the most expensive
commentary desk.
Yeah, the most expensive commentary table ever. And then when you have all these old veterans, you have 3 color commentators, and I think one Excalibur is your play-by-play. I don't know what they're doing with all these people or why they're going to do all of them. But what isn't Taz one of them? I feel like it was 8.
It was Taz. It was Taz.
There's 4 of them for an hour show, which doesn't even make any sense.
It's Taz,
3 men booths is too many.
Excalibur and fuck, I don't even know who the other person.
All they're gonna do is talk over each other for an hour. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, and Jericho's gonna be like, "Hey, he hit him with that chair. He hit him with the chair." And Mark Henry, that chair shot. That's probably one of the most dangerous chair shots he ever got.
Took me 10
and then you
years
guys
to learn how to take a chair shot.
That wasn't just any chair shot, Mark Henry. That was a chair shot. That was a Tope Suicida with a side of ice cream chair shot with shades of 1997 IRS and the $1 Million Man when they were the Mega Bucks in 2004. What are you talking about? Y'all all shut the fuck up. I'm watching on mute.
And the last thing I want to mention is I just want to make Manny mad, and I'm sorry, Manny. Mason T-Bar got a win on Raw. No one needed it, but they got that win over Mansoor and Ali. I'm sorry, Marcus. Manny has beat you again with his Mason T-Bar because I know he's the #1 fan in their fan club.
Of what?
Mason T-Bar. I know how much you
love. Fan? How dare you?
Yes, I know you're not a fan.
AJ and Omos. Did you watch?
AJ and Omos is my team.
The best. That's
yes,
the best
Manny.
tag team in the world.
I know how much you hate Mason T-Bar. You have complained about this.
I don't hate T-Bar. I hate Mace. Yes. Mace is the worst big. No. I take that back. Mace is the worst big man in the game.
Oh, you know what? I totally forgot about. I tried to erase Mace out of my mind. Okay, you seem to bring shit like that up to me. Mace is the worst.
Him
big
and his
man in the
promos
game.
looking like a reject from Mad Max. He needs to go somewhere. He should be fired.
I don't
should
feel
be the
that
sharpshooter rankings. This should be the worst big man rankings.
our rankings will mean more than AEW rankings, though.
Exactly.
And we all know what the #1 cola is, Panda Cola. Don't let anybody else tell you anything different.
The Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast.
Oh, you son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! You
right there, right there.
Damn.
Damn, right there.
This right when I was about to end the show. I was going to ask Ross, is there anything else that you would like to say that we maybe missed out on or that you want to plug? Although this person put a Brantley Cutler bomb on me. Fuck you, dude. Manny,
no, only that Seth Rollins had the best suit on Raw this week. SmackDown, sorry, and I may have already purchased that suit for myself.
Oh, didn't Manny send a text about how much? That's a $19.99 suit, right?
It's currently £60. So whatever that is for dollars. Yeah.
Well,
No, Ross was the one that bought it. I didn't post nothing.
Yeah, I bought it this week.
I saw it in the morning. I wasn't awake.
I bought it like 3 days ago, and then Seth shows up on SmackDown. So, yeah.
Let me just point out.
ASOS. Was that an ASOS buy?
It is, mate,
I can't buy that suit because I have a feeling that when I sat down, I would split the pants. I have never worn a pair of skinny jeans or skinny pants, and I will not start today.
Well, believe it or not, I was planning on wearing. I bought a jacket off Wish that was very Escobar-esque in outfits that I was gonna wear to the SummerSlam. I got it off Wish, and let me tell you something. Wish lives up to their reputation, and they do not have accurate sizes whatsoever. I made sure I got the biggest goddamn size I could find in there, because I was like, I know they don't. It's still way too small.
Marcus, you gotta go get this jacket.
Oh, I got
Put it
Go
on.
get it. Go get it. Put it on. Put it on. Put it on. Put it on.
Here we go.
Fat man in a little coat.
While he
Look at
does
that.
While he does. Oh!
Whoa.
Man, it's like the reinvention of Goldar right here.
Rangers. Power Rangers, I can do it.
Damn, it looks tight. I only see that little quarter right there.
Oh, you could pull that off.
You could have put that.
I can't move my arms. What do you mean I can pull that off? Manny, when you say I can pull that off, no, I cannot pull this off.
Just do
Yes, you can.
Can you?
Marcus, I'm sorry to tell you, Marcus, you look like an announcer. You look like an announcer who has his muscles are too big for his coat jacket. It's perfectly fine.
It looked like I can't breathe, Eric.
Oh, Marcus, you look like a co-host of a wrestling podcast. That's what you look like, man.
No. He looks like he's about to take D'Lo Brown's job at Impact on the commentary.
Oh, I'll do a better job than him and Kelly. Let me for the record say, Kevin Kelly can kiss my ass. He's the worst commentator in the
Mark,
game.
can I tell you something? When you said that about Kevin Kelly, you and your shiny coat made that shit seem more real, man. Mark, I respect you with that coat on, man.
Do the buttons up.
Tight.
Do the buttons
Man, why you trying to make him shake of himself?
I'm going to do this. Hold on. Big Flavor of Jericho. Put the coat on. You fat piece of shit. Put the coat on.
No, Marcus, put the coat on, you big sack of potatoes. Get in the bag, sack of potatoes.
Guys, I buttoned it up. I did
Prove
it.
it. I can't see it.
Exactly. That was the gimmick.
I think we all
So
need
said
one.
prove it. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Let's get it. It was
there's
like $5.
there's no better way to end a podcast than seeing Marcus. As Wesley said, ain't nobody come to see the Temptations without David Ruffin. Marcus is David Ruffin. You got that right. Shit. Marcus, I will point out, now you make me want to go to Wish and buy me a big shiny coat for my anniversary dinner, just to walk up in there looking like
You won't get it in
Escobar.
time. It took me a month to get this shirt, Eric.
It's so tight it feel like a shirt, not even a jacket.
Yeah. I was like, should I try to even lose weight to get... Nope. It's just going to be as it is. Am I still going to wear it in Vegas? Maybe I will. Who knows? But when I
I'm
lose...
right now looking for him.
I hope not. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I'm Eric.
I'm Lord Manny Hayes.
Marcus
Ross,
is
the
the fat,
award-winning podcaster.
and Marcus the fat man, a little coat.
Marcus, the grand finale. Honestly,
No.
I feel more like the grand finale in this fat ass game.
Marcus got
How
a
you
muscle
say
T,
so?
muscle T sports coat.
Make sure to check out Ross's Ring the Bell podcast. I mean, I'm assuming it's located at every place that you can listen to podcasts at, correct, Ross?
It is indeed, yeah. We've just started a new series going back to watch every Raw from the Eric Bischoff era. It's good fun.
Wow, the Eric Bischoff. I remember when it was before Peacock came, we were trying to do that, but then Peacock came and we said, fuck that cock. And
That's a shame.
with that,
That was you must have been watching something else when you were saying "fuck that cock." I'm just saying, Eric.
and you probably was watching that something else in that jacket, Marcus. Like you got dressed up for your porn. I know Marcus let me put on my gold jacket to watch my porn.
That's what.
Oh, fancy man.
I'm a fancy man. I'm not you other people. I'm not you other guys that just jack off in like your underwear and twice beaters. Nope, I put on a jacket.
I'm making a night of this.
Oh no! Oh no! I can't move my arms!
You know what?
Move my arms! Oh no!
I wank off in a gold blazer. That's what I do. Anyway, we hope you guys
does that.
we hope you guys enjoyed this sack of potato episode of this show. You can always email us at thesharpshooters@gmail.com, dasharpshooters@gmail. Please let us know how you're enjoying the audio of the Untitled Manny and Marcus show, which airs on every Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube and shortly released in audio form either the next day or later in the middle of the night. And also, thank you for joining us on Saturday when we record the culmination of all that happens in Wrestling Week. And luckily this week we got some releases that we spent an extra 30 minutes talking about. And hopefully Marcus brings the coat back next week, before the week before SummerSlam.
I hope he does it on Tuesday where we both look tired and depressed. Because
in the gold jacket.
You need that shot of gold jackets. But with that all being said, and with Wesley saying Marcus got that gold membership from Pornhub, Wes, I asked the question, how do you know about that gold membership? Because I don't know about no gold membership either.
Yeah, with that, Eric would know.
Yeah, Eric would know. He bought shares in Pornhub recently.
Hey, if I could buy shares, I would. Porn has been the long-lasting thing in the world. Shit, but at the same time,
I thought you were about to say porn has got me through some tough times. I didn't know where you were going with what the phrase you were about to say.
You know what? Porn has releases too, man. You know they announced that we have released this beast. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Until next week, stay sharp. We are out. Peace.